Hi, all you SPMEs. So today's question has 3 answers, and the third answer is a secret, which you will want to stick around for, because it will tell you how asking this very question may end up costing you a lot of money. So let's get into it. The question that was asked today is, how much does self-publishing cost? And this is a very reasonable question, since if you're considering self-publishing or you've started self-publishing and wondering maybe you're spending too much money or too little money, you would want to know what exactly is sort of the average cost that it's going to take. And if it's going to cost too much, then maybe you'd consider not doing it. And that's probably what you're thinking about if you're asking this exact question. And so that is what we're going to answer today. This is Chris Baird from selfpublishingmadeeasynow.com, where self-publishing doesn't need to be so hard. Go ahead and click the subscribe bell if you'd like for me to make more videos like this one, and check below in the description and you will find my free self-publishing checklist to help you avoid the common self-publishing mistakes to make sure you're exactly doing it right. So, how much does self-publishing cost? Let's get into it. When I first started, I discovered that self-publishing initially actually doesn't cost much of anything, because I started writing the books, but then when I started getting to the cover, that was when I realized that it can indeed cost quite a bit. Now, at the time, I hadn't taken any courses and hadn't really studied it so much, so I didn't realize I was overpaying. So I paid like $40 for a stock photo that I then tried to pay somebody on Fiverr to put together into a book cover, but they were not particularly all that good. And the end result, which seemed great to me at the time, was a lousy book cover that decreased the number of sales that I was able to get. And so I had to repeat this particular process over and over. And the same goes with formatting. I pay somebody to format my book, and when they sent it back, I discovered that when it's in dark mode, they chose hard coding on the colors so that you couldn't read it at all, because the colors were blue for the text of the book, but it wouldn't change even if you chose dark mode on your phone. And so that was a major problem, so I had to do it. And then I had another round, paid even more money to get the formatting done, only to discover that the table of contents didn't work when you clicked on the buttons. Then when I discovered I needed to do some changes to the editing and the formatting, I then had to pay even more money, because every small change required an additional gig in order to get that complete. And so it was cost after cost after cost. I began to see that the prices were rising. And when I started, I had no money really to work with to get the whole project up and running. And so I was on a minimal budget. Now, the irony of it is that if you have more money, then you can take courses and you can do these other options that then help you figure out ways of saving money and getting things right the first time. So that was a little bit from my story. So how much does self-publishing cost? Well, the answer is, first, it's free. You don't really need anything other than a computer to get started. You can make your covers for free using canva.com. You can write your book for free in LibreOffice using LibreWriter. So it will cost you absolutely nothing to write the context. You can write your own description. You can come up with your own keywords. You can decide what your own title should be. You have the ability to push the book out there. You can put the paperback version, formatting the covers for your paperback on KDP print, Lulu, well, not Lulu, but KDP print, and using GIMP, which is a free open source software like Photoshop, to produce using the template to put your cover in there and make it perfect. That will cost you absolutely nothing. But the other thing, though, is that you will save and make a lot more money if you're using the right tools. So that's why I would use paid tools for formatting like Jutoh, which then uses LibreOffice or LibreWriter in addition. I would use tools to figure out what the cover should be. You can see below in the description the person I use on Fiverr to do my covers for about $20, very affordable, and the covers look fantastic. So that's another option. I do the descriptions myself, but to find the title that you should be doing in the niche, I would be using KDSpy, and that also helps with the keywords you'll be using. To running ads on your thing, I use Publisher. Let's see, what's it called again? Sometimes I forget in the middle. I use Publisher Rocket to do that, which you find also below in the description. So these are just a couple of the tools I use. I still do use, of course, I use for the templates and things. I will use GIMP to do that. When I'm doing the cover templates, you have to pay money to get your hardback books out, since you have to order a proof on Lulu, and you need an ISBN number and pay them their initial fee on Ingram Spark for their review of your book to do the review. So that will cost money if you choose to go the Ingram Spark route, which I highly recommend you do. Now, these all cost a lot of money, so you might be wondering, well, that's an easy choice then. I should choose the free option over paying these other ones. And that brings us to today's secret question of the day, and secret answer of the day, and that is that the cost, if you choose the free route, you will discover it is incredibly expensive. You will use tons of time, and you will make very few sales. You will not be paid back for your time that you've invested into making those sales. So this is a terrible route. So you're going to want to invest in tools and courses, because you need two things. You need the tools and you need the knowledge. And so knowledge can be acquired through looking at free content, but sometimes paying for a coach, which I offer, or going for the route, which is getting courses, can be helpful. Finding an affordable course that people have taken that seems reasonable, that's also an excellent route to go. And the other thing is that the tools, you're going to make sure that you find the correct niche. You're going to get that correct title. You're going to choose the correct keywords. You're going to make sure your book is the correct length when comparing with your competitors, and you're going to run ads against your book. And this will cause you to start seeing sales coming in. You're going to start building an audience, and that audience is a group that you will be able to sell to in the future and get reviews and other things that you're going to need to succeed in self-publishing. So the answer is, you're going to end up paying maybe per book. It could be, let's see here. Well, the initial set of tools could be a couple $100, okay? And each book will cost maybe $50, right? So, and once you have the tools, well, then you can do books as cheap as, well, it depends upon if you're needing the I would say $50 to $100 and maximum of $200 per book. If you're paying for it to be ghostwritten, that then increases your price to $400 or $500 per book. So, as you can see, there's a number of different routes that you can take here in order to get your books out onto the market and to get them published. And if you go the free route, it's going to cost you more money than you're going to make, assuming you're following the correct strategies. And that's why it's important to listen to people who can speak into what you're doing right now to help you cut through having to make the mistakes that I made when I got started trying to do it on a budget. And since then, now I have a virtually unlimited budget to go about investing in books and in the tools that I need, because the money that comes back from the books is far greater than the money I need to create new books. And that is a situation that you're going to definitely want to find yourself in, so that your publishing process is making you more money than it's costing you. And we can continue that loop onward and onward as we produce higher quality books and make more money off of those books. So how much does self-publishing cost? Go ahead and tell me what you have found below in the comments. I'd love to read and respond to all of them. And look up above me here for more answers to your self-publishing questions. Thanks.